Chris and Bex, and this is our absolute disastrous take on what narrowboat life can really be like. But we're going to make it undisastrous, so make sure you hop along with us for the ride, guys. Well, we won't be riding anywhere anytime soon. All lies, because in this episode we will be taking the narrowboat out on a mini cruise. Oh god, here we go again. When it's not a grade 1 listed bridge that's getting the Nomadic Crobot sandwich treatment. It's a poor little helpless expensive cruiser, but we only learn from our mistakes. Good God, is there any hope? In the last episode we also found out that our fireplace was completely illegal and did not meet regulations. So we ripped the little bugger out, made sure that the new regulations were met, but doing so made another area on the stove illegal. Yeah, the sides now don't have enough space in between the backing boards and the stove. So how are we going to correct this after all that hard work? So how are we going to sort this mess out? And I apologise for the anticlimax, but there you go, sorted. Little tilt to the right, and the back and the sides all meet regulations now. So I've decided to tilt the stove a little bit to the right, and it actually looks much better, doesn't it, Bex?
It looks way better. Like before it was just sort of almost facing the opposite wall, whereas this way it faces down the room. So I think it'll probably be better in terms of sort of spreading the heat round a bit better.
But obviously that leaves us with one little problem. Bex is going to have to sort the hearth out. It doesn't fully line up now. So we're trying to abide by all the new safety regulations. We've got the boards in the back there. We've got the required amount of space behind, which is the whole reason why we decided to tilt it in the first place, because in its normal regular position it was far too close up against those backboards. Now there's an adequate amount of space there behind the stove, but like I say, this is going to be a problem for the lovely Becca.
No, that's not a problem.
Can you do it?
I'll give it my best go.
Does seem like one big ball ache to me, that. I mean, I don't know where I would even begin with that. Bit of paper mache or something?
Good God. I think just get out of the way and leave me to crack on with it.
Done. It does probably also mean that we might have to take off some of our new reclaimed flooring down there. Yeah, if we're going to go in here, we're going to have to probably take a few little parts off. Yes, I said we. So we've been seeing this little fella on the right here, or she fella on the right here, and we're not sure if it's Sopranella. Has she got a boyfriend? Hasn't she? We'll see, I suppose. I mean, she literally used to think we were just food anyway, didn't she? She used to try and take bites out of us, so... Time will tell, I suppose, guys. Don't make me whip the naan breads out. Young love works in mysterious ways. So if you remember, we laid down a lovely new wooden flooring in the living room, and later on in the episode we're going to have to rip some of them up so we can add the new hearth area.
Ta-da! I've got a crafty little walking stick now, look too.
I said to Bex, she looks like she's flagging a little bit, have a rest, let's continue this, tomorrow. And she is determined to get it completed by the end of this episode, so... Because you've got to cut all the floor out as well. It's getting late.
You just have to do it, don't you? So I've just drawn around the new pieces that I've made, so I know where I need to cut out the flooring underneath.
So grab said power tool, load up said power tool, and then, just hand it to Bex.
Hang on, it wasn't in. I'll hit click.
Time to get some of this lovely new flooring up. You may ask why. The reason is the stove now sits further to the front, so it's illegal. Again, we need to put an extra bit on the front here to make it unillegal. So as you can see, we're turning it into a sort of square area now, and it will look nicer too, won't it? This has got to hurt. Do my bit.
Some people think I'm an idiot. I don't know what they're talking about.
Sorry, my go. First bit of work in the episode. Here we go. Ready? Can't hear myself.
No, I haven't. No, that one's not ready.
Oh.
I like your enthusiasm, but no.
And the BSS chap comes along and tells us that it's all wrong, and you can't modify it, and you have to put all your panels back down on the floor.
Can you imagine? Oh my god.
So we're going to finish that off later in the episode when we're on our mini cruise. So today is one of those very unusual episodes for the Nomadic Crobot. Today we're actually taking the narrowboat out of the marina for a little spin. Lex is just at the back of the boat sorting bits out there. There's a couple of reasons for this quest, this mission. Some of you may have noticed that we've got a new location for the Whistling Wombat on the marina. A smoother exit out of the marina, some would say. We used to be in this horrible little spot over here. It's not horrible, it's lovely, but it just makes leaving the marina really difficult. Sometimes you get sucked into the turbine if that's turned on. Other times there's loads of weeds and foliage down that area, so you get stuck. So as soon as a new spot came available at the marina, we jumped on it and we thought we can start taking the boat out here and there in between DIY jobs, just to start, you know, getting a bit of use out of this blimmin' thing. Test will be bringing back the narrowboat into the marina and trying to get it back into our lovely new spot. I mean, it sounds easy, and it probably is, and it definitely is to real narrowboaters, but we're still new to all this, so it's all learning. So that will be in the follow-up episode, guys.
Right, so in preparation of today's mini cruise, we're just going to do the engine checks. Oil, coolant, fuel. Plenty of oil in her. First check complete. Next check is check our coolant level. We don't want our engine frying by getting too hot. It's really difficult sometimes to see the level from the outside through this kind of white thick plastic, so I might have to go in with my own eye, guys, and have a check. Okay, so there's some in there, but it needs topping up. Fortunately, we have this to hand. To be a bit careful sticking my nose in there. I get all high off the fumes, especially since I can't smell, so I can't really tell what level of danger I'm facing. It's all topped up, so I feel confident that the engine isn't going to overheat, or at least should the engine overheat, we have safety in place. Check number 2 complete. So the third check is the fuel, and I'm going to use a very sophisticated tool for this, which is this. Yeah, that's right, as most boaters know. You just get a really sophisticated stick. You just get a really sophisticated stick to dunk in your fuel tank and see how much you've got left. Always make sure to wipe it off because you don't want to introduce any disgusting particles to your fuel tank. Ready? Team mascots right here. Right, where was I? Oh yeah. God, this is on very stubbornly. It's freed! God for that, I thought it wasn't going to be coming off. Goes to about there. You always have to discount the last couple of inches because apparently the fuel pump doesn't reach down to there or something similar. So I've just gone and borrowed this from one of our neighbours, and I'm just going to pop a little bit more fuel in because as much as I do the fuel stick thing, really that means nothing to me. I've got no idea what that equates to in terms of how much is actually in there, so I'm going to whack a bit more in just to be safe. Check 3 complete.
Another reason why we'll be taking the narrowboat out today is because we've got this special collaboration. Do you remember I said in a few episodes something I'm very excited about reviewing? The official review won't be in this video, but we will be showing you what I've been talking about and what I've been excited about. And we wanted to put this piece of equipment out to the test, sort of out on a little cruise really. So normally we were moored on the left here, can you see around the corner, and now we're here to the right. So much easier to exit the marina because all you've got to do is pull it out and go down here. Sorted. There we go, give it a push and then off you doddle.
So all that's left to do is to grab this and this and get them attached. Crobot team, go!
How do you think we're going to do, guys? Here we go, push her out, jump on and off we go, eh? And we're going to speed this bit up for you now. I mean, how many times do you need to see Crobot's huge quest on trying to leave the marina? I mean, that could have a spin-off series in itself, couldn't it? How did that feel?
Oh, it's so much easier. You just slide right out, not a problem.
So we need to use the lock on the left here. It's a far too sharp turn. We're playing it safe. We're going to go up the river a little bit, whip it round here and take it in what seems to be a slightly easier journey. I mean, we're newbies, remember. Newbies after 2.5 years. Jesus. Lovely juicy guillotine lock here. Fully electronic. Nothing like your silly old manual ones. Oh no, we are posh down this way. We actually swore on day one that we would never do any manual locks. They are just beneath us. We are far too posh. Hence why you've never seen us do much cruising. If that's the way it's going to be, that's the way it's going to be. God, I do half waffle a lot of crap, don't I? They are actually part manual. Whack that on there, spin it a few times until it does that. Let that crappy old thing go down a bit. Make myself look tough by pulling this blimmin' thing open in front of all the onlookers, and then attempt to get back onto said crappy old thing.
Do a mega leap.
Never really fully know how you're meant to get back on. I think it's just sort of lucky, innit? Lucky if you don't go in. And she's not a crappy old thing. She's lovely, and she's going to be even lovelier when we're finished with her. Well, as long as I don't knock into too many things, eh? Give me 5 minutes, guys. Let's go! So this is where things started to turn into a little bit of a problem. Surprise, surprise, Becca had handed over the controls to me. We're heading head first to the landing strip up here in St. Neots, and there's a cruiser moored up here too. One would ask, why didn't I leave more room? Panic settles in, we're getting closer and closer to this cruiser now, with what seems like no way out. We're going to go straight into it. So I managed to squeeze round the side of the boat while I was driving it, and I managed to give it the old nudgeroonie. I mean, do you guys do this very often? Does this happen a lot when you're out there? Oh look, and there's another little smaller boat in front of us that I could collide into too if I wanted to. I mean, should they ban me now? Comments below. We have arrived at St. Neots 48-hour moorings. Thank you for travelling with Crobot Waterways. So there we go, nearly had a second coming of the bridge, but into a poor little yoghurt pot cruiser then, didn't I?
I mean, it's terrible, but I just got the giggles really badly. Chris is steering it in, and the gap between us and the other boats just really quickly getting closer and closer, and it's like, oh God, please just let us get past it. Like, please. It's
embarrassing. Same scenario. Bex hands the controls over to me in a bit of a tough situation, then I go and completely bugger it up.
I didn't. You knew where we were mooring and I didn't. So I said, oh, do you want to do it? Don't put it on me.
You can tell we don't do this much.
It was fine. The little old man got a slight nudge. I saw Chris pushing off from his boat, and this little man's head kind of got up and went, because he didn't know what was going on.
A little rock's nothing to a little crunch, is it? So, well, onwards and upwards. So here, ladies and gentlemen, behold our collaboration product. Our product that we've been asked to review. We won't be doing it in this episode, but we'll be doing it in a bonus episode coming up shortly. My lovely new sparkly power bank, guys. Been itching to get my hands on one of these. And what better time to finish off the hearth on a narrowboat stove.
So we're just going to glue and screw these battens down to the floor now, and then overlay the marine ply on top.
Just doing them by hand.
So that might be a bit of a trigger for some people, thinking, why on earth is she using so many screws? But because it's the hearth, it's really important that it's really rigid and like robust. It's not going to go anywhere, so I just figure let's just whack loads in.
And here we go. Are you ready for it? The big reveal. Our lovely new legal hearth. Yeah, Bex has cleverly added this sort of section on the front so it abides by all the legal requirements. And we've tilted the stove to the right also, and I think it looks quite nice sort of sat like this now. She done good, the girl. Once again, she charmed me. So we've still got to work out how to get the narrowboat back into the marina. Don't laugh. Remember, we're newbies. This stuff's hard for us. So it turns out this mooring spot was right next to an awesome little boozer. So what better way to end off what was a pretty productive day? Cheers, guys. Thanks for the support, and we'll see you in the next one with all that drama whilst trying to get back into the marina. Okay? Cheers. Bye-bye.